My 33F husband, 35M, is mad I won't put out after he cleaned the kitchen. Just for some backstory. We have been together since 2009. We 2 kids, a 4-year-old and 1-year-old. I'm currently on maternity leave and taking care of both kids full-time while he works 4 days a week. 40 hours, just condensed days. Since my daughter is not yet in school. September. And we took her out of preschool for the summer months, she's been home with me every day since June. We have no family in the area, so we rarely have alone time. Maybe 91,030 when my daughter finally stops coming out of her room at night and before we call asleep. And that's in. My husband wakes up at 3:30 am for work and stays on that schedule on his 3 days off to game from 33:07 when the kids wake up, which is also his only time to do that. On his days off he for some reason only ever wants to have sex when the kids are awake. He wants to sneak off to another room when the 1-year-old is napping and the 4-year-old is occupied by TV. However, she would immediately follow us and I don't want her to be traumatized. We don't have a lock on our door. Whenever it's night, I cook dinner, put the kids down, clean the kitchen, clean up the toys, and then it's 9/930th, so we relax for a bit and go to bed. 90% of the time he lays on the couch from when I cook dinner until we go to bed. He'll get up to eat dinner with us. Very occasionally he'll help me with half the kitchen or clean up the toys, and very rarely he'll do the whole thing. I've been telling him no to sex during the daytime. I don't want to traumatize our kid should she bust in. We have no daycare or family nearby. We have no intimacy either, and I have been complaining about this for years really. I have no time for intimacy because I'm doing so much alone all day and I'm exhausted emotionally and physically by the end of the day. I say if he helped out more at night I would have more time to relax and be able to get into a mood to want to do it. The past few weeks we've all had strep throat, and then the last 3 days we all had a stomach bug. My 1-year-old and I got it the worst. I was questioning if I should go to the hospital as I couldn't keep water down for 12 hours. It ended up only being 24 hours of hell for me, and my son has been sick 3 days. I've been projectile vomited on by both kids several times. Co-slept in their vomit while trying to catch it in my sleep. Today again my 1-year-old puked on me, and after so many loads of laundry and being exhausted I just changed my shirt and didn't even clean myself. Which brings me to tonight. I ask my husband to unload the dishwasher while I do their bedtime, and can we please watch Star Trek after and relax. I'm still dizzy from being sick, no appetite, I need to chill. He agrees. I walk downstairs after putting my 4-year-old to bed 3 times, and he's actually loaded the dishwasher too and asks me if I'm DTF since he cleaned the kitchen. I'm like, what? I'm so confused since he knows I'm dizzy, barely eating, covered in puke still, and he also has a stuffed nose, which is a new illness. I say no and we get into an argument about how I always have an excuse no matter what I say. The issue is, he'll fix it, aka do something once and expect a sexual favor as a thank you. He now wants to cancel our first ever family trip we booked for next week, since that apparently is another excuse I won't have to have sex with him. He cannot see that he is being an asshole and that I owe him nothing, especially for contributing to our household. I'm sort of at a loss. I don't know how else to explain to him that I'm not an object, that I have more needs than just a clean kitchen, and that I'm literally covered in puke. Lol. I've tried so many ways and it's always me being the bad guy. TLDR. I won't put out after my husband helped out one night after 2 weeks of family illnesses that we still haven't recovered from. Here's a hot tip for all you husbands out there. Nothing dries up a vagina quite so quickly as a grown man who wants a sex sticker for his chore chart. Sorry op, it's just straight up not a good look for your so. He's putting more effort into ensuring he has gaming time than contributing to the household. Constantly trying to sneak sex while the kids are awake. Like yes, parents do manage this sometimes, but that fact it's like he doesn't even see the issue is kinda messed up in my head. Cancelled a vacancy because you didn't want to have sex. Straight up abusive. Sorry, I don't know what there seem to be a lot of people trying to relate to this situation, but never ever have I heard a happy marriage, good relationship story where someone did something like that. So many women just be like, my husband has the personality of a wet sock and is mad about having to contribute more than just money to our home. He did one chore today and is now using that to manipulate and coerce me into sleeping with him. Despite me being horribly ill, running on 2 bites of cold mac and cheese, exhausted from keeping 2 real babies and 1 man baby alive, and completely not in the mood. What do I do? Quote, like girl, I'd say couples therapy, but even if you do that I can't imagine a happy future for you or those babies unless he does a full 180. Tell him sex is not something that's transactional. He should do the dishes because he eats off of them as well. Not because he thinks he's done you a favor you must return with sex. If he does cancel the family vacation over this, book yourself a nice hotel for a couple days and leave him to figure things out. I might piss you off sometimes, but at least I'm not that guy, my husband. Honestly, I don't know if counseling can even save this, but you could try. It's clear he doesn't care about your opinions, it'll have to come from someone else. Is this how he always is? Are you happy with spending the rest of your life with someone who treats you like this? I just can't understand why you wouldn't be DTF after he loaded the dishwasher. I mean, who could resist? So, do you want to unpack this? I'm leaning towards throwing the whole baggage out. He doesn't feel responsible for household chores. He sees them as your job. He sees the kids as your job. He doesn't care how you feel. He thinks you owe him sex. He thinks you'd sell yourself for a clean kitchen. Shall I go on? Oh my God. You are not a vending machine that he puts Cory coins into and sex will come out. He is not pulling his share of the family load. You are making up for what he's not doing. And it is taking the mental energy that might otherwise go towards having a libido. Just because he waltzed through on one occasion and took a single item off that load doesn't mean he's lightened it enough to matter, either in terms of weight or time. The fact you're sick is just the cherry on top. That alone is reason enough to not be into it. Tell him the sex robot needs more tokens, since that's apparently what he thinks is going on. Chores do not equate to sex. Chores done right can lead to sex. What grown man wakes up on his days off at 3:30 am to play video games for 3.5 hours before the kids get up? I mean, what is that? Husband needs to step it up a bit. Yay, he works 40 hours a week, but you are doing more than that and are burnt out. Sit down and discuss duties. He isn't helping, he's being responsible for your house and kids. Time for him to step it up. Why do so many men think they need to receive verbal praise or be rewarded for cleaning up the house and spending time with their children? It's called being a responsible adult. Your husband should be doing more around the house and with the kids, particularly on his days off. But even on his work days, he can clean the kitchen if you're tending the kids or vice versa. He's got a lot to work on there. I would find it weird to ask my wife for sex if she was recovering from being sick. The one thing you two definitely need to do is get a lock for your door. From his perspective, you're saying no to daytime sex because your door won't lock, and saying no to nighttime sex because you're understandably exhausted, but that leaves no time sex, which sucks for both of you. If you can swing it, I think couples therapy might be necessary here because there is a serious disconnect. I know things are very hectic, but there is telehealth you can video into therapy. But in general, your husband is a selfish asshole. Did he ever help around the house before you were married? Oh yeah, asking for sex in the midst of vomiting toddlers is a big turn on. I am so glad I am a lesbian. Just wanted to sympathize. My husband does the same thing. Wants to have sex right after work when our child is awake. Drives me insane. Him expecting sex for chores is just yuck. If my husband did that, he'd be in a dumpster on fire and he'd be the one to put himself there. Marriage is a partnership, not whatever he thinks it is.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.